As the little girl with black hair slept peacefully in her bed, a whispered conversation was going on in the room. The coast is clear. No one slept in this room for years. At least she's light. Now, let's see, I'd say she feels about 50, maybe 60 pounds. She was here last October. At least I think it was October. Of course it was. When can we spring the trap? Police! No more talk about traps. I can still feel it in my tail. Come on, what are we waiting for? I've been holding out long enough. It's just some little brat. Go back to sleep, will you, clown face? I want to be left alone. Let's wait until she wakes up in the middle of the night. That way she'll think it's just some nightmare. I'm scared. What if she's a monster in disguise or something? Or what if she's a head boogeyman here to test us? Believe me, kid. If it was a head boogeyman, I know. He's right. Let's wait until she wakes up. I'm telling you guys, she looks just like her. They're like dried mustard. Shush! I think she's waking up. Everyone keep quiet. Anne stirred in her bed. At this moment, she was only half asleep. Her dreams were interrupted by a sudden outburst of words. And it was not only that, she had the feeling that most people get. It was a feeling of being watched, that she was not alone in this room. She had often felt that, but it never scared her. It was unpleasant, yes, but also very odd. Why would she be watched in her own bedroom? Yes, the blinds were open to shed in some light, but lace curtains covered the windows. Plus, how would anyone get through those windows? They were very tiny. Anne's eyes opened suddenly, because she thought she heard another noise. It was muffled, so she couldn't recognize it. She shut her eyes again, but then another sound caused her to sit up in bed, astonished. Now, even for someone who's never afraid, a deep, loud roar coming from the closet is something to be concerned about. She realized that the teddy bear, Michael, wasn't in her hands. Anne looked down and saw him on the floor. "What are you doing down there?" she asked, jumping off the bed. "You could catch a cold." While bending down to grab the bear, she heard a low groan and froze in place. She was not frightened, but alarmed. It came again, and Anne realized it was coming from under the bed. Curiously, with teddy bear in hand, she crouched down low and peeked underneath. There was nothing there, at least for a while. "Hello?" she called softly. "Is there anybody in there?" Only a short moment after, two red eyes glared at her in the dark. Anne jumped back unexpectedly. Then she heard something move. The room started to shake. The old toy chest rumbled. The mirror swung from side to side. Her sock drawer kept opening and closing, and another roar echoed in the closet. Anxious, and thinking this was another strange dream, she leapt back onto the bed. Then Anne heard more groans, more screeches, and all of a sudden, the old toy chest burst open. After what seemed to be an explosion, her toys scattered everywhere, and the biggest surprise by far, a clown, appearing to be at least 4 feet tall, with an evil grin, emerged from the box. His eyes were pitch black, his red hair stood out from under his hat, and from his mouth came a shrill of laughter. Then from above, in the dresser, her sock drawer opened, and what appeared to be a tiny red devil popped out. His eyes were yellow, and his laugh was just as frightening as the clown's. Then the mirror over the dresser stopped swaying. All of a sudden, there was a flash of light. A golden ghost with 4 black eyes, a terrifying face, snake-like hair, and long talons hanging from its fingers materialized in the mirror. Where a pair of legs should have been was a puff of smoke. The creature was like a living gold statue of Medusa. As if things couldn't get any more bizarre, the closet opened abruptly, and a humongous, hairy, brown monster with horns appeared from the darkness. He gritted his yellow teeth and growled. Beneath its feet, the carpet ripped open, and another creature emerged from the floor. It was a yellow reptile the size of a Komodo dragon, with a thick purple stripe down his back, hissing like a snake. Just as Anne reached the conclusion that it was only a figment of her imagination, her bed began to shake, and something else came out from under the bed. The creature was tall, skinny, blue and scaly. It had horns on its head and one on its nose. Its eyes glowed red. Its teeth grinned with delight, and its tiny but pointed claws glinted in the moonlight. The creatures closed in on the girl in the bed, growling, groaning, and laughing with pleasure. Just as the crazy clown, the little red devil, and the hissing lizard hopped onto the bed, Anne could no longer keep a straight face. Instead of screaming, she started snickering. Gradually, the snicker turned into a giggle, and soon, Anne was so amused that she started chortling like a hyena cub. The monsters froze in their places and stared at the girl in confusion. Why was she laughing? She wasn't supposed to laugh. They kept on staring until the girl finally spoke. "Come on! Tell me what's so funny!" The puzzled creatures did nothing but glance at each other. "Well, whatever it was, can you do it again?" It was a huge furry monster who spoke first. "You mean you're not scared of us?" The little girl shook her head. "Nope. Should I be?"